I was preparing for this, sharing tonight and preparing this handout and such, and not feeling the greatest in body, kind of sick, and knew I had a limited stamina to prepare. And at the same time, I got a call from someone who I haven't talked to in a while, who is a lover of the Lord, but is having some struggles too. And I was like, oh, I know if I'm going to pick up this phone. If I pick up this phone call, it's going to take some time. And I'm not going to, well, I'm supposed to prepare for tomorrow night. And, well, maybe I'm not going to be as prepared if I take this phone call, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, it would have been very hypocritical for me to not take the call. In light of the main point of this message, which is that through our caring for people, our love for the Lord is really, refreshed and such. So I was like, man, I got to take this call, otherwise I'm going to be I'm going to be a hypocrite. So I took the call, and it turned out to be a very pleasant fellowship, and he had some questions, and we talked about them, and we had some prayer together, and I believe that it was partly because of that phone call that, the burden, or, the main point, it just solidified the point for tonight's sharing, all right? Which is that, caring for people and helping them know the Lord is not always convenient. And sometimes the reason why we don't want to do it is because it may take us a little out of our comfort zone. People may ask questions that we don't know the answer to, or they may do things in a different way than we're used to. And so we are scared to try to help them. But that's actually a big help to us, because it saves us from the outward things that we may rely on. We may be used to praying in a certain way, and this person doesn't pray in the same way. But this person still loves the Lord, and so it gets us out of our routine, and helps us to just focus on the Lord and not on outward things. Anyway, so I'm thankful to the Lord for that brother calling me right in the middle of my preparation for tonight to help remind me and even help solidify this focus for tonight's fellowship, that if we really want our fellowship with the Lord to remain fresh, we really need to care for people. There's nothing like when helping someone receive the Lord or know the Lord that helps you or helps us just suddenly refresh our relationship with the Lord. It's something that it's just a principle of our Christian life. Whenever we do our best to reach out and flow the Lord out, then suddenly there's a large inflow at the same time. Sometimes the last thing we want to do, we might be having a really tough day, the last thing we want to do or feel like doing is share about the Lord to someone else, because we think, oh, in order to share the Lord, I have to have this has to be an awesome day. I have to have read at least 5 chapters in the Bible. I needed to be praying at all times and not have forgotten about the Lord. But actually, it could work very much the other way around too. And that is, we could be having really not so great day. I mean, we didn't have time to read the Bible in the morning, whatever. And then there's an opportunity to share the Lord, and we just do our best to share something, and it may not be perfect, but when we do, our fellowship with the Lord is greatly refreshed. Believe it or not, there are people at USC who are open for the Lord and looking for the Lord, and who are just waiting for someone to speak to them about the Lord. And so it's our job, number 1, for their sake, number 2, for the Lord's sake, and number 3, for our own sake, to try to give them something of the Lord, speak something here. It could just be a little something. But when there's something about flowing out, opening our mouth to flow the Lord out, that will greatly increase our enjoyment of the Lord personally.